Warning, this video contains lots of yelling. You have been warned.
Okay, the Switch 2 has been announced. There's a Switch 2 Direct in April. Every Splatoon YouTuber has made a video about Splatoon 4 at this point, so now it's my turn. Here is my Splatoon 4 wish list. Will any of this stuff get added?
No.
But is it still fun to speculate?
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Let us play ranked during Splatfests. Okay, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Turf War is a horribly designed piece of garbage game mode, and ranked is better in every way, from a game design perspective at least. I've already talked about why I think Turf War is so bad in a previous video, but in short, only the last 30 seconds of the match matter, regardless of how good or bad your team was doing until then. It is a mode that rewards dumb luck, and skill is a lot less of a factor compared to the other modes. Now, normally that wouldn't be too bad, since Turf War is supposed to be the baby beginner mode that you play when you first start the game before eventually moving on to ranked, except for the fact that that same baby beginner mode is the only mode you can play during Splatfests. Do you see the problem here? I genuinely do not understand why Nintendo did this. This is one of the stupidest game design decisions I have ever seen, and whoever made that decision should be tried in a court of law. Like, literally, what is the vision here? So now you have the casual players that have never touched ranked in their lives matched against the Omega Tryhard Top 500 X-Rank players, and when the Omega Tryhard players inevitably annihilate the casual players immediately start whining on Twitter like, "Oh, you competitive players are ruining the game, stop spawn camping!" Like, you cannot blame the competitive players for spawn camping when Turf War as a game mode literally encourages spawn camping because it's a horribly designed piece of garbage game mode. There is literally no excuse as to why we can't play ranked during Splatfest, and Nintendo is actively shooting themselves in the foot because of this decision. Like, literally, they want a lot of people to play during Splatfest. That's why they're held during the weekend when the highest amount of people are playing the game. So if you want more people to play the game, then why are you giving them less options to play the game? It genuinely infuriates me that it's been almost 10 years and this is still a thing, and I'm not the only one who thinks this. I mean, I asked around and the people are furious.
Can you believe it's been almost 10 years and we still can't play ranked during Splatfest? What about you? What do you think?
I mean, you can feel the anger here. In fact, while we're on the topic of ranked, more focus on ranked. Okay, so Turf War is a horribly designed game mode like I already said, but that's not where my problems with Turf War end. I think Nintendo focusing almost exclusively on Turf War in their marketing is one of the main reasons why no one takes Splatoon seriously and they think it's just a baby game for babies. Like, Nintendo, what the hell are you doing? You have Splat Zones, Clam Blitz, Rainmaker, and Tower Control, all of which are very well-designed modes that are both engaging and enjoyable, yet you choose to focus on Turf War, the only bad mode? And yes, I said Clam Blitz is a good mode. If you think it's bad, then you're just a filthy casual. I remember when Splatoon 3 beat COD at the Game Awards in 2023 for the best multiplayer shooter, and all the COD players started raging on Twitter like, "Oh my god, I can't believe COD lost to this baby game!" And while I do think Splatoon 3 absolutely deserved that award, COD players stay mad, I do understand why there was so much backlash surrounding it. Because, again, most of the trailers are centered around Turf War, the baby beginner mode. So a lot of people watching the ads probably don't even know that ranked exists. So as far as they know, Turf War is the only mode. And, say it with me now, Turf War is a horribly designed piece of garbage game mode. So of course the people that think Turf War is the only mode in Splatoon 3 are going to be upset when Splatoon 3 won. And it's sad because I think a lot of people who play more mainstream shooter games would really enjoy Splatoon 3's ranked modes. So why the hell does Nintendo never show them in the trailers? I truly believe that Splatoon would be a lot more popular if Nintendo focused more on ranked instead of Turf War. Better communication options. Okay, I'm not saying Nintendo should add full-on voice chat because Lord knows what would happen if that was actually a thing, especially in ranked and Salmon Run. No, I'm talking about the D-pad communication. It has been almost 10 years and we still only have two options of communicating with our teammates, one of which is effectively useless, so we really have only one. Like, literally just do what Smash Ultimate does, where you can pick and choose through a bunch of different message options. It's that easy. Fix the ability system. Okay, look, Spike, I love you, but what the hell is this? Contrary to what Turf War players would have you believe, gear abilities are an integral part of Splatoon. They help enhance your performance, and there's a lot of weapons that are dependent on gear abilities to do well. So why is it so hard to get the ability chunks you want? You are basically rolling a slot machine to get ability chunks. There is no guaranteed way to get a specific kind of ability chunk. You can get one of the drinks from the Crab and Go, which you need tickets that are randomly distributed to even buy in the first place. You can wear gear from a specific clothing brand, which has an increased chance of producing those chunks. Or, like I said, you could roll what is effectively a slot machine in order to get the chunks you want. It costs 10 ability chunks to add a single sub ability to a piece of gear, and if you want to change the main ability, that costs 45 ability chunks. And if you want 3 of the same sub-ability on a piece of gear, that costs 60 ability chunks. And then there's the ordering system, where if you want to order a piece of gear that has a different main ability from the original, there's a chance that the gear you get just won't have the ability and will instead have the same ability as the one that you already have. So you just wasted one of your order slots, and you have to wait a day because it takes a full day to order a piece of gear. Just let us buy ability chunks. Oh my god, how is this not a thing? I don't care if it's like 1000 G for one chunk. Just get rid of the randomness, please. Fix the Salmon Run reward system. Okay. So, the Salmon Run reward system is the biggest piece of garbage I have ever seen in my entire life. Just, like, completely overhaul it. Just get rid of the King Salmonid scales. Even after they buff the drop rates, it's still stupid. The fact that you have to spend hundreds of King Salmonid scales to get gear that was just a normal reward in Splatoon 2 is an absolute atrocity. Fix map rotations. In an ideal world, we'd be able to pick any map mode combo we want, but there is no way in hell Nintendo would do that. So instead, I propose they just make every ranked mode available at once. You can keep the random maps, but just let us play whatever ranked mode we want. I do not want to be unable to play ranked because the current rotation is Clam Blitz on Mincemeat Metalworks and Eeltail Alley. Again, I can't believe this is still a thing. And while we're on the topic of maps, actually good map design. I shouldn't have to explain this. We deserve to have maps that don't look like they were designed in Fortnite Creative. Also, please bring back the Splatoon 1 versions of Mahi, Hammerhead Museum, and Flounder, because what the hell happened here? All maps returning. Okay, this is never going to happen ever, but like, I miss Piranha Pit. I miss my wife, Tails. I don't want to worry about whether or not the maps that I like will be in the next game. A new ranked mode. I don't know, just make it like a team deathmatch mode or something. I want a mode where getting kills is an integral part of the objective so people don't just sit around and be all passive. A new and more innovative single player. So before we go any further, I want to say that so far I've really enjoyed the single player content of these games. I even liked Splatoon 2's hero mode. In fact, I'd say the single player is probably my favorite part of Splatoon. But oh my god, if we get floating platform shenanigans for 4 games in a row, someone is going to get hurt. I think that side order was a step in the right direction in terms of gameplay, and I think it would be really cool if the next game's single player expanded more on the roguelite aspects of side order, because I think there's a lot of really cool things you can do with the general gameplay loop of Splatoon that haven't been fully recognized. And I think if the next game does expand on some of those aspects, it would make for a really fun experience. Personally, I think it would be really cool if the levels were like the levels in LEGO games, where you're in like a city or a secret hideout or something, and you can roam around the place. Like, you're still restricted to an area, but it's like more free roam type gameplay, and you can still like walk around wherever you want. I think that would fit with Splatoon's movement system really well. I also hope the villain of the next game isn't just a watered down version of the previous villain. Like, seriously, there's so many cool options for what the next villain could be. If I had to guess, I think there's a good chance that Lil Judd will be the next villain, since it seems like they're already setting something up with him. And I also think it would be really cool if we had an Inkling as a villain. A stage builder. I know this has a 0% chance of happening, but like, I mean, hey, if the next game is going to continue the trend of god-awful map design, at least let us design our own maps, you know? More lore drops. Like, come on, just give us more info on Octarian Society. Give us more info on DJ Octavio. Is that too much to ask? More Table Turf Battle content. I mean, seriously, Table Turf Battle is such a fun game mode, but nobody cares about it because Nintendo barely does anything with it. Put more focus on Table Turf Battle. It's super fun once you get into it. Bring back Squid Beats. Seriously, where is it? Bring back High Tide Era. Seriously, where are they? Where are they? Emotes. If the next game is also going to have victory screen emotes, then just let us use them during matches. I think that'd be really cool. More crossover Splatfests. Seriously, what happened to these? We used to have Transformers and Ninja Turtles Splatfests, whereas the only crossover Splatfests we had in Splatoon 3 were with other Nintendo games, which were still super fun, don't get me wrong, but like, come on. We used to have Transformers and Ninja Turtles Splatfests. Let us use color in Plaza Posts. This is a small one that doesn't really affect me because I have no idea how to draw on this thing. But dude, there are a lot of incredibly talented artists that post in this game, and I think freeing them from black and white prison would lead to just so much more artistic expression in Plaza Posts. Male idols. Okay, I've talked about this a bit before already, but please, 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 please. Okay, I'll make a deal with you. If the next game has male idols, cooking special. I will bake a cake, and I will put the idols as cake toppers on top of the cake. How about that? Huh? Alright. Cool. More weapon customization. I'm not talking about fully custom weapon kits, I'm mainly talking about just cosmetic stuff. Like, let us put some stickers on our weapons, or let us change the color. And you wouldn't even have to worry about confusing people in a match, since you can already see the weapon icons on the top of the screen. And while we're on the topic of weapons, let's talk about probably my biggest issue with Splatoon. Fix the weapon kit system. I mean, seriously, everyone and their grandma was waiting for third kits in Splatoon 3, but instead, Sheldon was found dead in a ditch outside the Grand Festival venue. 1 like equals 1 prayer. I mean, it's almost laughable how Splatoon 3 had the whole theming with the number 3, and then they didn't have third kits. Like, that's just embarrassing. But honestly, even if Splatoon 3 did have third kits, that wouldn't solve all the problems I have with weapon kits. Because the weapon kit system is just so fundamentally flawed that honestly, I think the only way that they could fix it is if they just completely overhauled it. I am just so sick and tired of letting a random developer decide the fate of a weapon. Especially since some weapon kits clearly have a lot more thought put into them than others. And this isn't just me. In fact, I know someone who was directly impacted by the flaws of the weapon kit system. So everyone, please welcome my friend, the Reflux main.
As a not professional Reflux main, I feel like custom kits are a necessity, because have you seen what Reflux was given in Splatoon 3? Like, I guess curling missiles is solid, but it's not fun, because curling does give it movement, but missiles is not really a fun special to use or be on the receiving end of, and if you disagree with that, you're wrong. Then you have the other kit. Wall and Reef Slider. What were they thinking with that kit? Like, it just doesn't work. There's nothing that synergizes in that kit. Anyways, and like, they could have given it Zipcaster or Booyah Bomb, but no. They gave it Missiles, one of the worst assigned specials ever, and the Shark, which gives it some zone cheese potential, but it's not going to be as fun as Zipcaster ever. And then the subs. As I said, Curling Bomb is okay, gives it a little bit of movement, but it doesn't really need that because the main weapon paints so much. And then you have Wall. What were they thinking? Like, genuinely. There's no reason for Reflux to have Wall. It could have had Burst Bomb. Like, that's the dream for the weapon. Give it Burst Bomb, because every time I play Splatoon and use Reflux, I slightly miss my target and deal 95. You know what can follow that up? A Burst Bomb. Granted, almost anything can follow that up, but Burst Bomb would be the best thing. And that's why I want custom kits for Splatoon 3. You know, if they have a content extension. But realistically, custom kits for Splatoon 4. Because if Nintendo fumbles this bad again, I will not be happy.
And this is why I, as well as many other members of the Splatoon community from both the casual and competitive sides, think Splatoon 4 should have fully custom kits. Like, I don't understand why the developers seem so against that idea, because not only would players not have to wait over a year and a half for their weapon to get a new kit, but it would literally give the developers more time to focus on other features! Like, you don't have to worry about players not knowing what subs and specials the weapons have, because you can already see the subs and specials on the map! Like, I get that there's concern over some combos being too strong, like Slosher with Burst Bomb, but honestly, I don't give a flying fuck about that. I would honestly deal with Slosher with Burst Bomb than have to deal with one of the weapons I play having a horrible sub or special. I would literally volunteer to learn how to code just so I can add custom kits, and all of my proceeds would go to charity. Literally, I would do anything for custom kits. Please, 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 please! Thank you all so much for watching. That was a very chaotic video, but I had a lot of fun working on it. Again, I don't expect any of the things I talked about to be added in the next game, because quite frankly, Splatoon 3's content cycle has just destroyed any of my remaining faith in the developers. But like I said in the beginning, it is fun to speculate. Anyways, I hope that one day when content updates for the next game are finished, I'm able to come back to this video and see if any of the things I talked about actually happened. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!